Hey, look, listen. Spoilers ahead. Evil beware. Now on to the show.
I don't need to address it. I'm just telling you, like, hey, we're at this minute mark. Like, we need to, like, get moving somewhere.
Right. It's always George has this look of, like, panic on his face. He looks at me, he's like, we're at 40 minutes. I'm like, oh no. It's like, you started the recording like 20 minutes ago, man.
Well, I know if I let him just go, he's just gonna keep going, which is fine. But
that's why we know the one time you're not here and we're doing like a Persona episode,
it's gonna
be like 2.5 hours.
That's gonna be a good episode.
Hey, welcome to the BakaTaka Wait, did you hear that? Yes, that's the sound of this podcast getting turned to the next level! Hey kids, tired of the same old boring podcast? Well, you're in luck! Introducing the new BakaTaka podcast! It's one for fans of all ages, young and old. You can even listen to it anywhere! Whoa! BakaTaka changing lives everywhere, just like it did for this lucky fellow.
Since I started listening to BakaTaka, ain't nothing ever changed!
With BakaTaka, no longer will you waste time watching anime with these three idiots who will give you their genuine and honest trash weeb opinions.
Man, since I started listening to BakaTaka, I've saved so much time just not watching anime. I feel like I'm living life again.
With this new deal we got going on, you can get all access pass to all of BakaTaka all the time. Wow, that's a $40 value, but we're giving it to you for just $3. For free. It's for free. So what are you waiting for? Go listen to George, Eric, and Chase now on BakaTaka. Warning, BakaTaka may not be as described in this commercial.
Man, don't make me ever do that again. I dig it. But don't make me ever say anything like that again.
I wasn't planning on it, but I actually just wrote this like on the drive back to the office, so it was like it was a last minute thing that I put.
You weren't driving,
I was not.
Okay, good. I was about to
because it's already risky.
Hey everybody, welcome to the BakaTaka podcast with this new amazing intro that we will not do every time. There's some fizzy going on for my earbud. Sorry.
I still like the whole IQ of a child, grip strength of a dad.
I'll bring it back.
All
It'll
right.
make it come back.
All right, get some major comedy in there next time.
Yeah, I'll try.
Oh.
But I won't wait till the last second to do
Yeah.
it. Anyway, like always, there's George,
Yep.
Eric,
That's me.
and me, Chase, and we're back again for episode 3 of BakaTaka. That's what you're listening to right now. So, we will start it with what we've been watching.
Man, we're on episode 3.
We're on episode 3.
I thought it was 4, to be
I
honest.
actually thought it was 4 to be honest.
That's because we did so many longer.
We
episodes.
we have done some really long episodes. Okay, so for me, nothing has changed. Still watching stuff, just the same airing stuff as last time.
You want to
So,
elaborate on that?
huh?
You want to elaborate on what you've watched since,
Quintessential quintuplets. That's a hard one to say. I'm bad with cues.
Quintessential.
JoJo's. Still halfway through K-On! Kaguya-sama.
You just need to power through chaos.
I do. Mob Psycho 100 Season 2. Very good. Oh, I'm loving it. I think it's even better than the first season, to be honest.
I was liking it a lot more.
I got
I've only
like
seen
halfway
the
through the first season.
Alicization, though that was on a break this week. We did get... So, I was a little bit surprised. The recap episode wasn't just straight recap. It actually did have a little bit of a difference, but... Not a ton.
Sometimes they do that where they'll have like extra scenes in there, but it's still pretty much just
yeah, and it was, but it was anyway. Yeah, it's a recap episode. You don't have to watch it. I did because that's how you know.
You remember Recreators?
I do remember Recreators on that. They had
where she was just
scenes
giving
in
her whole opinion on
Yep.
like, everything and it was fully.
That's essentially
Yeah.
So the recap. Well, since you guys aren't watching the show, basically, it's literally Kirito explaining the story, everything that's happened so far,
Yeah.
to Alice, because they've met at this point. They're kind of reached a truce kind of thing.
Like,
so
like he's getting her up to date.
The recap episodes that do that, where they tell it from a point of view, or something are good.
Yes.
Then you have bad recap episodes like Goblin Slayer. It's like, we're lazy. We're just going to put the same exact scenes in it.
Yeah.
Did Goblin Slayer? They only did one, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was
everybody-
at like episode. It was in between episode 10 and 11.
It was really
It was
weird.
at the worst possible
Well, it's
spot.
just like, everybody was like, we know this is 12, 13 episodes. Why do you have a recap episode?
Exactly. And then we have Shield Hero, still very good.
I actually haven't seen a lot of people talking about it, and I was wondering if like it's starting to fizzle out.
I'm really surprised too. I
Like, the hype is
expected
dying out.
more talk. So I don't know why that is, because I'm still really enjoying it. I think I think it's done a really good job of like keeping itself moving and not getting to a point where it's just like, okay, this is dumb. It just tried to like get everyone's interest at the very beginning with all this stuff and just kind of pull it off there and then just kind of leave. So I think it's getting better and better, and I think it is going places, but at the same time, I could see how it might get to a point where it stops trying to go places, which would be bad. But so far I'm on board.
I just noticed the hype for it has died down.
Yeah, well,
Like,
yeah.
Basically, everything now, when you look for new information about the current season, it's basically just Chica and Kaguya.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So
I'm not complaining.
I'm not complaining either. I'm just saying, like, everything else is basically fallen to the wayside.
yeah,
And it's basically like just Kaguya.
and I'm fine with that.
Shield Hero was really popular before it even aired.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was.
It was one of the most popular light
anticipated.
novels and mangas. It's
Okay.
always been
Yeah.
on the top of the
I
list.
did not
And
actually
then,
know that.
and then when it came out, it got the whole controversy thing with
Yeah.
the first episode.
And I think
Oh.
that's part of the reason too,
Yeah.
because it hit big hype at that point.
Yeah.
Not necessarily hype, but it got like really big just because of all that news and the controversy stuff surrounding it.
you know what?
Personally, never had a problem with.
Yeah.
I thought it developed the story and moved it along quite nicely, because like I don't see any way they could have done what they did with the character and made it have a reason why he is the way he is without doing something like that. So for me, it's not a problem. I think it worked very well as a story element. Next, we had Reincarnated as a Slime. Still really good.
Oh, I
And
got
then-
caught up on the
You did?
dub of that. Well,
It's-
the dub. So the dub's
Wait,
like
where's
3
the dub?
episodes behind. It's like 3.
Okay, you're still pretty far in. I love it. And then,
binge it, so
oh come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you would really like this.
I know I
already
like it.
It's
light
fine.
novel stuff about it.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
I,
fine.
I already know some stuff about it. I know I'm going to binge it. I'm
Okay.
just waiting for it to finish airing so
That's
I can
fine.
sit down and enjoy it.
I mean, if you're gonna watch it sub, we're only 5 episodes out. So,
Yeah.
and then Promise Neverland, which I'm very interested, because this last episode, which just aired yesterday, I think it's a Thursday show. Yeah, I think it comes out Thursday.
Like the only thing
So-
I follow is JoJo Fridays.
Fair enough. Anyway, the most recent episode leaves you on another good cliffhanger where I really want to know what happens, but I'm not going to know for another week.
I still haven't got caught up on it. I want that erased feeling back.
That's fine. It's
I'm
like I
still waiting
said,
to binge.
it's not a horrible one to watch airing, but at the same time, I totally understand waiting until it's
Well, that's what I mean.
done
is
so you can marathon.
I want to watch it. That's the one that you said I should watch.
it's
airing.
it's a good feeling.
So-
I'm
I'm excited to watch it. I just didn't get caught up on it.
Oh, and I watched 5 centimeters per second. I watched
Great
that.
movie. Shinkai film.
Well, George, why don't you tell us about what you found about 5 centimeters per second?
I thought it was a good movie.
How about a...
honestly, there's not like a whole lot to talk about
So,
there. It's
let's-
pretty
let's-
straightforward.
So since there's not much to talk about, how about we do it in a sense of comparing a Shinkai film to Shinkai film, right? Comparing Your Name to
5 centimeters.
5 centimeters per second.
Oh, it's totally different.
Right, it's still a Shinkai film though.
I mean, yeah.
Because he did movies like 5 centimeters for
Mhm.
like the longest time till 2006, where he did Your Name.
So just to be clear, I think I've only seen those 2 Shinkai movies.
Right.
I've seen Your
So,
Name.
I mean, like,
correct.
a
Seen 5
comparison
centimeters per
from
second.
one of his old movies to a new movie, starting
Okay.
from new to old.
Okay. I
Because
mean,
I've seen all this old stuff going to his new stuff.
really? Okay.
So I want to know what it's like from somebody who saw Your Name, then going back to his old stuff.
So, if I didn't know that it was the same guy who made both,
Mhm.
the only way I may have been able to tell is just because they have a very similar art style.
Right.
That's about it. Story wise,
Mhm.
it's, I guess there are some elements, just the young kind of relationship aspect of it, but just everything is so different. Your Name is kind of, sci-fi.
Yeah.
There's time travel, gender bender / elements, and then
That's like
5 centimeters per
55,
second is like harsh reality, and
Pretty much.
it's so good.
So he's got the basic. He keeps those same basic elements from all of his
Yes.
films. Because there's that one weird one where that girl's the violinist. I think
The violent. You're talking about
Your
The
Lie in
Place
April.
Promise in Early Days, or what?
that one.
Or-
The place promised her early day. Whatever.
Yeah,
early
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Never heard.
Like she's a violinist. There's like weird stuff and like mechs and things going on.
Place
There's like
Promise
this
in Early Days.
place in the center of the world where they can't go, and it's,
He did do sci-fi.
basically
like a while
he does a
ago.
lot of
Huh.
time travel. He does a lot of sci-fi. He does a lot of like photorealistic art.
Yeah. Okay.
So that kind of sticks through all of it. Your Name was just. I want to know what somebody thought of seeing Your Name, and then going way back to his old stuff.
I mean, so it's kind of weird because I like watching movies just based on director. Like, so I'm not like a cinephile like some people are.
Yeah.
I'm not to that level. Like, I don't just watch every movie that comes into theaters
more
and
than-
like
you
go
know
to see all those
more
art house
than-
movies and
But
things.
seeing
But I
5
do try to
centimeters-
watch a lot.
But seeing 5 centimeters per second and knowing Your Name,
Yeah.
you could see. I think they might have the same director, same people.
Exactly.
Okay.
And see, that's one of those things. Because, I mean, so some directors that I love from, just American movies,
Yeah.
Quentin Tarantino, Wes Anderson, some of those directors that like you just watch and they just have a style. It's just their style of movie.
Yeah.
I love watching that and kind of seeing all the different movies. I think I've
Yeah.
seen every Wes Anderson movie and I think almost every Quentin Tarantino. I haven't seen I believe it's Grindhouse, I think is what it's
Yeah.
called. There's some smaller ones of his that aren't like major motion pictures
Yeah.
that I haven't seen, but I've seen most of their stuff. And in seeing their early stuff and the new stuff and understanding how they do the art direction and how they do, how they frame things, how they shoot the movie, the cinematography of it.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting. And that's one of those things where I kind of find it interesting because obviously those same elements would be at play with movies made in Japan, all the animated movies and stuff that you watch.
Look at Miyazaki films. There's a lot of...
Exactly. But because I haven't followed it as long, and I don't follow those directors as closely, like I said, I've only seen the 2 Shinkai films.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through his repertoire and seen. It's really hard for me to like point out the similarities and how he does things without having a bigger catalog to look at. Because I can, like we said, I can point out and say, okay, these were probably made by the same person. Just look how similar they look and feel. But the concepts behind them, the themes of the story, I don't know enough to really point those out.
Yeah.
But I can see similarities. I just would need to see more.
I'll tell you this. I think Your Name is a lot different from everything else he's done.
Yes. Story-wise, it is very different.
It's completely different. Like, they all have, like, a...
So I think he did
Yeah.
Your Name more and he wanted a bigger mainstream audience.
Yeah.
So
he got it.
He wanted a more general group of people coming to watch it. Because when I'm looking at his other films, like there's Voices of a Distant Star that he did in 2002.
Haven't heard of it.
That's
Garden of Words.
That's a really weird one, and it's got like mechs and stuff. And you're just like,
Yeah, that one was...
I do like mechs.
it was not one of his better films, but it's got his same art style.
There's a Garden of Words, which is a lot like 5 centimeters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Garden of Words is really because that's the shoemaker one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the kid wants to be a shoemaker, and he keeps meeting this teacher.
A teacher at the school he goes to.
Yeah.
And she just basically like
It
has
is-
teaching.
It's like a 40-minute story. It's
Yeah.
it's another one of the Shinkai love stories.
Okay.
But pretty much all of his old stuff is they look similar, but they're all different story-wise, but they've got some similar story elements.
Interesting. I mean, I'll definitely have to go and watch some more of his movies
Yeah,
because from the two I've seen, I love it.
yeah,
Even though I would say 5 centimeters per second is, it's like, I don't want to say it's sad
Mhm.
because it's not just a sad movie. I feel like it's a
bittersweet.
It's bittersweet.
It's bittersweet and it's a harsh reality.
Yes, and it's just kind of depressing almost.
Yeah, I mean,
In a way.
that is a lot of Shinkai stuff. Because
That's-
Garden of Words is kind
yeah.
of like that too. Because Garden of Words is like kind of an open ending.
Yeah.
And it's like-
kinda.
Okay.
You can interpret it how you want. It could be bittersweet. It could be happy. It's whatever.
I
I
still
did a
want to
com-
figure out what you were talking about, though. What show are you thinking about? If it wasn't the...
He's done some weird stuff, right?
yeah,
I can't remember all of Shinkai stuff because it's kind of out there. Because he did that one commercial or that mini show about the girl that has her phone and she moves out and she's trying to keep in touch with like her dad. Or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, what is that called?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know what you're talking
It's just
about.
like a 2-minute commercial.
Yeah.
Or whatever. It was really good.
Do you know when it came out? Because
It,
I've got a
came out like
Wikipedia.
a year or two
Let me
before
look it up.
your name did.
There's
2013.
2015.
Yeah.
Sri Lanka Highway.
And what's it called?
That's the title they have from his 2013 commercial.
Let's see.
Taisai
The
Corporation.
Japanese name is Daigo.
Oh, it's
no
Crossroads.
Masashi.
It's called Crossroads.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zikai Crossroad. That's 2014, actually. According to Wikipedia.
2013.
That must be wrong.
Nope, it's right.
I've never seen Wikipedia make a
Anyways.
mistake.
If I'm not mistaken, they actually did an ad for that commercial before that commercial.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a commercial
Yeah.
for the commercial.
Yeah, there's a commercial.
That's amazing.
I got you, fam.
That's
yeah.
probably what came out in 2013.
Yeah.
Or there was a commercial for the short.
But basically, if you're going to watch any more Shinkai stuff, just watch Garden of Words and maybe Children Who Chase Lost Voices.
Okay. Well, apparently he's got a movie called Weathering With You coming out this year. That's...
Yeah.
I mean, knowing nothing about it, that could be good.
He also did Flavors of Youth.
You were
It's on
very
yeah.
excited.
Sorry, I completely forgot about it.
Yes,
Flavors of
he
Youth that
did.
came out last year, I think, yeah, that was really good.
Flavors
Yes.
of Youth? I don't...
Flavors of Youth.
Is that a show?
Was that what you were
Or-
thinking about?
Don't remember.
I don't remember. I think it might have been in the last one, the one with.
What is Flavors of Youth?
It's another Shinkai one. If I'm
Is it
not
a
mistaken.
movie?
It's like a movie OVA. It's similar to 5 centimeters, where it's split up into
Yeah.
smaller stories. It just doesn't follow the same character each time.
Well,
It's a
it
different-
is on Netflix.
Yeah, it's really good. I almost forgot about
Yeah.
that.
I was thinking about it. I was like, there's something in the back of my head. I can't remember what
Yeah.
Shinkai doing, but watch that. Watch Garden of
don't-
Words. Watch Children Who Chase Lost Voices.
I don't see anything saying Shinkai was related to
It
this.
says from the maker of Your Name. That's pretty much all it says from Netflix.
maybe it was just the studio. I don't know, but either way,
I think it's from the
looks
studio because it's
Yeah.
Comics Wave Films,
But
and Comics I know did.
It's like the same style as
Yeah.
Shinkai in art.
Yeah,
Okay,
Pretty much just watch it.
and it is good. And it's good.
It's good.
interesting. All right,
But
okay.
watch that. Watch
Okay.
Garden of Words. Watch Children Who Chase Weird name.
Who
that
chased
Shinkai
lost
has.
voices?
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
I'm not trying to watch
copyright
it now.
Copyright.
Calm down.
This
was an accident.
The sound of doom.
That's what George has been watching. Is that it?
Yeah, I mean that's everything I've seen recently.
In the
Did watch
last-
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but that's not exactly anime, so
Any other weeb things you've been doing?
just Breath of the Wild count. I got back into that. I've been playing a lot of Breath of the Wild recently.
It's weeb.
I mean,
Japanese.
That's weeb enough. I counted it for weeb of the year points.
wait,
You
what?
did?
Yeah,
Why?
I did.
Did you count
It's
everything Japanese?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, because I convinced you.
Oh.
Well, no, I was convincing you guys.
You were trying. What?
Yeah, because you guys were like, well, what defines as a weeb game? And you're like, that's not really a weeb game. That's just a Japanese game.
I mean, I wouldn't consider The Legend of Zelda. a
Anyway.
weeb game.
I mean, I wouldn't consider it a weeb game either.
It's not very
around-
anime.
Not very weeaboo.
It can be weeb.
It's so mainstream.
They got
Like, I would consider Fire Emblem weeb.
Yeah, like
oh,
that.
Fire Emblem was
that-
super weeb.
But
That I
not-
could understand.
Not Zelda.
no,
Even,
not
even though
Zelda.
Fire Emblem is now a major Nintendo IP.
Zelda has an
Yeah.
anime though, and a manga.
Which, by the way, the Three Houses
I'm
That
excited.
looks really good. Like
So
I've never played a Fire Emblem game. That
So,
looks really good.
The only thing I'm concerned, it's basically the same system as Trails of Cold Steel 3.
Yeah, I know
But that
exactly
one's got
what
the
that
army
is.
system, or like the whole, or
Right.
like where
But
it's just.
I was watching Trails like this is exactly like what Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel 3 looks like. I'm just like,
Legend of Heroes is fun. I gotta get around.
Trails in the Sky and Trails of Cold Steel.
Trails
Play
of
them
Cold
all.
Steel.
Play them all.
Is what I'm playing.
There's 2
But I
more.
gotta beat Persona 2 first. Anyway, this is an anime
Yeah, we're getting off topic.
It's not only anime.
Oh, that's
it's
right, that's
weeb podcast.
It's just mostly
Yeah,
anime.
mostly anime, but we're weeb. We're all weebs here.
Yeah, but we just agreed what we were talking about was not weeb.
But then we went on to Fire Emblem and actual weeb stuff.
I mean,
We're all weeby enough.
Yeah.
I would still say Fire Emblem is soft. Soft weeb.
Intro weeb.
Intro weeb. Okay, fair enough.
But then Trails of Cold Steel is weeb.
I don't know what that is still.
It's
It's
weeb to the
Yeah.
weeb.
Okay.
You were
So-
wondering what I was pointing at, weren't you?
You're just making gestures.
I was like the weeb of the weeb.
Trails of
pointing
Cold
into
Steel
the-
used to be one of those games that you have to have like a dictionary next to you and you have
Oh,
to import the
no.
game and play it.
Oh no.
Yeah, but it got popular just enough that
I ain't
I think
about
Xseed picked
Yeah,
it up and
okay.
translated it.
that. Xseed picks up like everything, don't they? Not
It's like-
not everything, but they're like one of the prime
It's like Xseed and Nihon Falcon.
publishers
Yeah.
that take over anything that
Well,
comes from Japan to here.
They do a
right?
lot of translation projects now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Anyways.
What have you been watching?
I haven't been watching a whole lot. Basically, I watched episode, what was the new one? Episode 6 of Kaguya.
Okay,
I actually
Yes.
watched that like earlier today when I came out here.
that show's amazing. I
It's
love
pretty
it.
good. They introduced the treasurer. He's a fun character.
Ah.
He is great.
He takes
I
everything
love it.
seriously, and he's very emo about everything. He's a very fun character.
Sasuke.
And then I watched the first 4 episodes of the second season of Golden Kamui.
Still haven't watched
I
Golden
can,
Kamuy.
I
need
can
to
see
do that.
why you wanted to drop it, Chase.
Oh, that's why. I
Because
did
literally the
drop it.
first episode is they introduce a new character named Edo Guy, and he likes to skin people,
Okay.
and then he wears their skins as fashion devices in very weird fashions.
On point.
So, and basically he was doing a fashion show for the lieutenant, and one of his costumes is just his arm he uses as like an elephant trunk where his junk should be.
Yeah.
And he's just strutting around. He makes bags.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
I can see why Chase dropped it because it does get very weird, but I'm still enjoying it because
I felt like throwing up after that. I was just like,
I just can't get
oh.
over the fact that the main character just looks like Discount JoJo.
He does so much.
Because I was down there watching it and Jeff walked by one day. He was like,
Are you watching JoJo's?
yeah, he was like, are you watching JoJo? I was like, no, this is Golden Kamui. He was like, is that Discount Jotaro? I'm like, pretty much.
He fights with a gun and just punches bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Discount JoJo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is Discount.
Wow.
I cannot stop thinking about it every time I see him. And then half the episodes are like food wars or just sitting there cooking food and eating it
Yeah.
and describing what they're eating.
And
Okay. All right.
what's it called? He was trying to convince her to eat the what was it?
Miso.
The miso, and she's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to eat.
It looks like poop.
It looks like poop.
Yeah. But she always convinced him to eat like squirrel brains and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's like, they're good in nutrients.
Yeah, it's gotten to the point where she's trying to get other characters to eat it. He just has this big old grin on his face and he's just eating it with a smile.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't like her character at the very start because she's spoken like that weird monotone way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But now she's just doing whatever, having fun. It's a great show. If you like random people getting skinned and murder and bear fighting,
Yeah. Gotta get that treasure map.
I'm gonna watch
Discount
Texas
JoJo.
Chainsaw Massacre.
and there's that
So,
too.
There's that
I think I can handle it.
I've been doing some other stuff. I was playing some Pokemon.
Oh, that's right.
I like doing
Yeah.
Nuzlocks. Nuzlocks are always fun.
Okay.
So there's a ROM hack by a dude named Drayano. And he did
No, that's not good.
No. I'm
so-
just nodding.
I
in agreement.
didn't either. So,
Okay.
yeah.
we'll start from a Nuzlocke it's a rule set where basically there's permadeath and all that and various other rules.
Okay.
But when you get to a new route, say you go to Route 1, the first encounter you find is the Pokemon you catch.
So do you have to catch the Pokemon, or can you not catch
There
the Pokemon?
are rules to not catch it. So like if I go to Route 1, I get a Rattata and I catch it, part of my party, right?
Yeah.
I go to Route 2 and I find a Rattata. I have the option to not catch it because it's called Dupe's Claws, right?
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I already have a Rattata. I can catch it if I want to,
Second Rattata.
but if I don't want to, I can get another encounter.
Gotcha. And you, I'm guessing if you find another Rattata after that,
Yeah.
you have to get it then, or
No.
you can
You
just
can keep re-encountering until you get something new.
okay.
And then
I actually have heard of Nuzlocke before. It's just I don't follow the Pokemon
Right.
scene all that much that I
Right.
did not know what it was.
and you probably have
from
no
that.
idea
What?
what Nuzlocke's
It's
stuff like that.
It's basically
Oh, yeah.
people who were like, Pokemon is too easy.
Yeah.
Let's make it hard.
Yeah,
and they
it's-
did.
And
It's like
once-
homebrew rules.
Yeah, and once a Pokemon faints, they're considered dead, and you have to release them or put them into a special box. Every Pokemon has to be nicknamed, so you feel attachment to them.
Well, that's just horrible.
Yeah, so you start thinking up of nicknames for stuff,
Scud.
and they stick to it, right?
Wow.
Scud,
And
Turnburglar.
I'm guessing what this ROM did is it made those rules
Yeah.
in the game instead of
so-
you just having to apply them yourself.
So the ROM doesn't do that. Basically, what Drayana did with the game, he did Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, and Black and White 2. And I think he's done some other stuff, but those are the major ones.
Okay.
I was doing Pokemon Black, and it's called Blaze Black.
Oh.
What he does with the ROMs is he adds all the Pokemon to the game, so everything is catchable. He adjusts base stats, so some
What do you mean everything is catchable? So like,
everything is in the game.
even
And
stuff
some-
from later generations?
No,
or
from that current gen up to Gen 5.
Okay.
So everything
Mm.
can be found in some way, shape, or form.
So anything that was like white or black exclusive is now
Can be found.
okay. Okay, I understand.
So everything's in there. He adjusted base stats, so stuff can be viable. So like Beedrill can be useful, stuff like that.
Okay.
And then he just updated the AI of trainers, so they battle like competitive trainers. They'll
Oh,
switch.
that's nice.
They'll do setup moves.
That had to be so much work.
Every gym leader has 6 Pokemon. They all have competitive movesets, perfect IVs, the perfect natures, and perfect EVs.
The way a gym leader
Should be. Yeah. And then he adjusted some of the fights to be like double battles, triple battles, rotation battles.
That's cool. Wait, so just to be clear, do the gym leaders still
They
are
do-
their levels still appropriate to where you would be in the game
Where you
kind of
should be,
thing?
yeah.
Or okay.
And then they all still follow their same gym type. So like Lenora, the second gym leader,
Yeah.
is normal gym leader
Okay.
and all that. Skyla is still
So it's not like a
Fine gym.
water type gym leader
Yeah.
is just running around with a bunch of
Yeah.
fire Pokemon.
yeah. They'll still have normal, and they might have like their secondary typings.
Yeah.
And he'll abuse competitive movesets like crazy.
Oh man.
So I started up earlier. I already lost.
So does it I guess my question is, so obviously it makes it harder, but does it turn the game just into a straight grind? Because if it did, that would just be kind of
Turns it into a grind.
Yeah.
But what I do anyways is just turn on experience codes and go out and grinding
okay.
just to save time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to sit
Nobody
there.
likes training.
I'm not going to sit there for hours and grind. I'll
I
sit there for
agree.
15 minutes and grind. If something dies, that sucks.
You're in it for the thrill of the battle.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
I've tried this.
Training,
So
I've tried this dumb ROM hack like 4 or 5 times now.
So you were using Nuzlocke rules with the ROM hack.
Yeah.
Is the ROM hack designed to be used with Nuzlocke rules, or is it supposed to be its own thing
It's
that
supposed
makes
to
it
be-
harder,
it's
and
supposed
then
to
you're
be-
making it harder on top of it being harder already?
It's supposed to just be a hard thing to be like, hey, challenge yourself to this game. It's a lot harder. And then I've already beaten it.
Okay.
Normally, I'm like, okay, let's make it harder.
Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke it. Because I always enjoy doing randomizers. Those are fun. But then I saw this. I was like, this
What do you mean
looks
randomizer? Like, how does a randomizer work for Pokemon?
basically
way
everything,
for
everything's
Persona.
just random.
Just, I mean,
Starters are random. Pokemon
Oh,
encounter random.
okay.
Trainers have random Pokemon. Like you could walk out to Route 1, there's just, a Snorlax and a Dragonite.
that sounds awful.
First gym leader can just have
No,
a
it's
Mewtwo.
awesome.
That sounds like
You don't
just
know if
die.
you don't know if you're going to get something godlike at the start and carry you through the game,
That's amazing.
or
I
you're
mean,
just going to run
oh,
into
wow.
a wild Lugia and wipe you out.
Holy crap. That's
You
interesting.
can't
Because
even make it to
I've watched some of the speed run races where they do what is it, Metroid, Super Metroid randomizer.
Yeah.
The
Have you seen like Ocarina of Time randomizers?
I haven't watched Ocarina of Time. I have seen not Link's Awakening. I'm blanking on the
Link to
name.
Past.
Link to the Past. The Link to the Past
yeah.
randomizer is really cool. Have you ever watched the one where it's A Link to the Past and Super Metroid,
Mm.
and they move back and forth between the games?
No.
Yeah, they actually have, I forget what locations they use in Link to the Past, but those and then save locations
Mm.
from Super Metroid, they warp you between games,
Mm.
and they actually map to different places on the map. So they're going back and forth. Items are randomized,
Yeah.
not just in each universe, it's between the games.
Yeah.
So you'll get Link's items in Super Metroid
Mhm.
and vice versa, and you're just going back and forth. It's fun to watch. And obviously they have, seeds and stuff, so they
Yeah.
can have people playing with the same random
Yeah.
set, and then they can
Yeah.
race. And
There's
then you have Wind Waker randomizer.
there's an Ocarina of Time
insane.
randomizer that some people do, is where two people play the game,
Okay.
and if you find an item in your universe, it could be the item for the person in the other person's universe. So, like, say we're playing a game, right?
Yeah.
I find the Megaton hammer in mine,
Okay.
but it might be your Megaton hammer
Wait, so do I have a chance of getting a Megaton hammer then?
for, like, me. Like, if I pick up
So,
a Megaton hammer, it
then
goes
you
to your
get it.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
so if you find it, it just, okay,
It
it
goes
does
to your
go to
game.
me.
So he's
Oh
helping.
my.
You.
So, I mean, like, I could keep picking up stuff, but it might never be mine. It might all be yours.
And to be clear, it is a race then still.
No, it's you're both trying to finish the game.
Okay, so it's
co-op.
It's a
Co-op.
okay, so it is a co-op.
It's
Yeah.
like Portal.
I guess you could play it as a race though, where you have to try
Yeah.
to
You could.
hurt your
You
the
could.
person
Like,
helping
do I
you.
t- so can you tell whose it is before you pick it up?
I
No, you
No,
open
so
up the
yeah,
chest and
it's-
it'll say the person's name, and then
So you're just like, do I take that risk and try to get a point, or do I? End up-
Yeah.
I
So-
love the idea behind randomizers, and the what gets me the most is just how much thought goes into them, because it's something that's difficult to do. I don't have the technical knowledge to be able to like go into a game's code and change things and make it all. But the fact that people can go in there and not just make it so that things pop up in different places randomly, because as far as coding goes, I believe that would actually be pretty simple.
Mhm.
It gets hard
Yeah.
when you take into account the fact that if you just randomly assign things to different locations, there's definitely going to be permutations out there that make the game impossible to win.
Because it's like
Yeah.
in Zelda, like
But-
how can I get through the eyeball
But
door if
I
don't
know
have
for a
any-
fact, based on some of these videos I've watched, that they've actually gone through and done things so that physically can't happen. And that blows my mind.
yeah,
Because that has to take so much. It had to take so much time
You got
and knowledge of the game and working with other speedrunners and experts and stuff
Yeah.
to even figure out what was possible and what wasn't.
I was just saying, most of the time it's
I
probably
love it.
speedrunners that get with
Mhm.
a coder that tell them you can't beat the game without doing this, and these are the basic glitches you can do to beat the game while having these certain items and stuff like that.
It's just absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
I had a question.
What's up?
Yeah.
In Pokemon, if your Pokemon faints before you make it to the Pokemon Center, where do you go back to your house, right?
If your Pokemon faint before you get to a Pokemon Center, you white out,
Yeah.
and then you go back to the last Pokemon Center you were at.
But if you haven't even made it to one yet,
Yeah, you go back to your house.
Yeah.
you go back to your house. Okay. All right. Because I never actually found this.
Well,
See what
Pokemon's never
would
been really that hard of a game, so I've never
Yeah.
had that issue.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, things happen in randomizers, so I've seen it plenty of times getting sent back to
And
the house.
I'm just guessing in Nuzlocke you can still heal your Pokemon at Pokemon Center. You just can't once
mean,
they faint. There's
There's some other crazy rules you can add onto it, like you can only use the Pokemon Center once per city.
oh my god.
So like once you go to that city, you can only
What?
use that Pokemon Center once.
That's
insane.
I think there's a YouTuber, Shady Penguin, who has his Shady Lock, where he'll get tokens after each gym he beats, to where he can use a Pokemon Center and use one token.
So you have to beat a gym
So
just to be able to use the Pokemon Center.
yeah, so
Which means that
he'll start
from-
with like 2 tokens.
Okay, so you do start the game
Yeah.
with Tom. Okay.
And then every time he beats a gym leader, gets 1 token that allows him to use a Pokemon Center.
and if they're fainted, he
That's
can't even heal them. He's got to get rid of
Right.
them.
I kind of like that.
Yep.
That definitely would make that would
That's so
reinvigorate
hard.
playing Pokemon.
And there's tons of other rules. So like there's wedlocks, where like you catch 2 Pokemon on the same route of opposite genders, and they're linked together.
And
so if you have one in the party, you have to have both.
Yeah, you have to have
Okay.
the other. If that one faints, you have to find another mate to it. If not, you get rid of it.
I think you were talking about it before, but if you have a Rattata
Mhm.
and it faints,
Yeah.
are you able to catch another Rattata?
Yeah, you can if you want.
Okay.
But
I
again,
didn't know
you
if
can
that
only
was
catch one Pokemon per route, though.
Yeah.
So you have to have a route where,
Right.
first of all, you can,
Right.
and then you have to want to do that over some
Yeah.
other Pokemon
So-
available on that route.
So if you run out of routes and you make it to the end and you got like 2 Pokemon left,
That's all you got, boy.
That's what you do.
You
You better get that.
playing
100
some
level
randomizers,
Pikachu.
you get some odd champions. You like some Pokemon that just rise up and shine.
yeah.
You get some weird stuff.
Just really beat the game with a Bidoof.
So like, what I did as like kind of a big randomize. Basically, I randomized all the abilities,
Okay.
all the TMs,
Yeah.
and TM compatibility.
Oh, so you can actually choose what to randomize, like,
Yeah.
hey, toggle things on and off
Yeah.
random. Okay, cool.
I got the most broken Aerodactyl ever. This boy, so Aerodactyl's rock flying type.
Mm-hmm.
So rock stab and flying stab, same type attack bonus would be really good, right?
Yeah.
This boy got the ability Rockhead, where he does not take recoil damage.
Ooh.
I got a TM for Brave Bird. He learned it. Brave Bird's a recoil flying move, 120 base power. Really strong.
That's
flying
pretty
move.
good.
Then I got Head Smash. He could learn it. This man carried me through the game. So you just get weird stuff like that.
So
I never would have expected an Aerodactyl to carry me.
So what my question is, if you play one of these randomizers where it just randomizes encounters,
Mhm.
does that mean you could just run around on one route and basically catch every single Pokemon, or
So there
or does
is-
it basically say here's how the game is based on Route
So-
1? There's these 4 Pokemon. Does
Yeah.
it just randomize those 4
So
Pokemon?
there's different settings you could do. There's one setting where it goes through a list and it makes every Pokemon catchable. It'll just start going through a list. right?
Okay.
And then there's the other one where it does a 1-to-1. So like if you go to Route 1 and you know there's 5 Pokemon, they're like 4 Pokemon and 1 rare encounter,
Uh-huh.
it will do that same exact thing.
Make 1 rare encounter and then 4. But it'll
Yeah.
randomize what those are.
Yeah, like your
but-
rare encounter could be like a Sunkern, and the common encounter could be a Ho-Oh. right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to play the game.
And then people do other rules to it, like if you follow Nuzlockers, there's King Nappy and Shady Penguin, they do the Soul Link,
Okay.
where they co-op the game.
Mm-hmm.
And basically Pokemon are linked. If one dies in one game, the other dies in the other game for them.
Shady Pink.
And they can't have main typings overlap. So like if I catch an ice type, the Pokemon it's linked to cannot be an ice type, and then you can't have another ice type in your party.
Wow.
Ice main typing. So if it's like
Yeah.
psychic
Okay,
ice,
gotcha.
then you can use it.
Yeah. Just okay.
Yeah.
Main type's got to be different.
There's just a ton of rules you can do, and it's just dumb fun. Especially if you're really into Pokemon and you want to keep playing and want different ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
really
enjoy going-
cool.
yeah.
I still got to finish Let's Go Pikachu.
I've got an unopened copy sitting in my room.
I think I beat the 5th gym.
Wow.
Let's see. The last
Well, Smash
Pokemon
Bros.
game I
came out.
beat was Y.
Smash Bros. came out.
Why is okay?
And then I got Moon, but I didn't have time for it because of college. And I
Mhm.
was just thinking, I had so many games at that point. It was starting to stack up the things I really wanted to play, but like
Yeah.
had no time to play. So I cut it. I was just,
I tried the
nah,
Flower.
Moon. And I gave it back to GameStop.
But enough about Pokemon and my shenanigans and my weeb shenanigans. What have you been up to, Chase?
Okay, so before I start, I wanted to actually throw this idea out to you guys.
Uh-huh.
So I had this idea a couple of weeks ago. It's an idea of like, what would this be like if this was an anime? It's an anime concept.
Okay.
So you know the Groundhog's Day, like, oh, you basically the day ends and then the day starts again and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What now? Tell me if this has actually been done before or something. But what if, let's say, there's like this guy, and this thing, like the Groundhog's Day thing, happens. He goes through the day, and he's it's just a normal everyday, and he
Yeah.
wakes up and he's like, oh, it's the same day again.
Yeah.
But because he knows he went through this day already, he knows the outcomes of what's going to happen. So
I can tell you.
So say what?
I can tell you.
Tell me what?
The Endless Eight.
Wait. So I'm not done yet. So he goes. Yeah, you're right. But so he goes through the day and he's fixing like all the like the mistakes he made the day before and stuff. So and he's just like, oh wow, and so he's becoming like people are starting to like let's say he's like a bum at work or something like that, but he knows his boss is gonna get upset at this thing, so he gets it done beforehand. So his boss compliments him this time.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, yeah. And then he gets in, the day ends, he thinks he's dreaming, and he wakes up again, and it's the same day again. And he's just like, oh, man, like, something's got to be going on. Like, I'm not dreaming, right? But, so this is where it gets interesting. So he goes through the day, and he's just like, this has to be a dream or something like that. I have to, like, there's no way I'm living this, like, he understands the concept of Groundhog's Day, where it's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no, I don't want to be, I want to wake up from this dream. And so he does something, but it ends up causing a side effect. And it kind of ends, like, he gets through the day, and it kind of, like, ends where he kind of becomes, like, a bad guy at the end. And then he's just like, no, I can't live in this nightmare. And he goes to sleep, and he wakes up, and it's the next day.
And he's still evil? Is that what you're
No,
saying?
but so in this day, he's not evil. Everyone treats him like they normally treat him.
So
And then he goes through it. He's like, this is really weird. That must have all been a dream. And then that day ends, and he wakes up again, and everybody likes him.
So I know there's the whole Groundhog Day concept.
But yeah, this one, the concept is he's going through 3 timelines.
So I know there's
the first one where it's normal. He doesn't know what's going on. The second one where he's already gone through it. And then the third one where he actually just kind of screwed everything up, and it's starting to turn into a dark timeline.
Yeah.
So he just basically lives the same day 3 times
Every day.
every day.
So it's a new day. So it's like you go through 21st normal timeline, the 21st good timeline, 21st bad timeline, the 22nd normal timeline, 21st good timeline. And it just keeps going. But at the same time, like, it kind of does the Steins Gate thing where the worlds, like, people start thinking of something that happened at a different
They start
timeline.
kind of crossing.
Yeah, they
basically.
start crossing over. So it's starting to mess with them. They're
So
just like,
basically,
you
they're
lied
trying to
me.
get like Steins Gate.
Yeah, doesn't that
Endless
happen a little bit in
Eight,
Steins
and like
Gate?
ReZero all mashed together?
Yeah, but so it's more it's kind of, I guess you would call it like a psychological thriller, because it's like there's the good timeline.
Psychological thriller.
Yeah, there's the good timeline where he's like, everybody loves him. There's the normal timeline where it's just like normal. He's like a normal, it's his everyday life. And then there's the dark timeline.
It kind of reminds me of Yoshino Wareta. Remember that?
Yeah.
What's the English?
Yeah,
In Search of the Lost Future.
yeah.
That show.
And- Yeah,
what a
this is-
wannabe Steins Gate.
I know, right? That's the one with Kenny Coon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, this is just my concept that I had.
I think it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
I'd have to see how it gets done, though.
Yeah.
Because I feel like one of those things, if it was literally a whole episode was hit each day kind of thing, it'd be so slow. But if it was like he went through all 3 in the course of one episode, maybe not like at the beginning, where the beginning kind of like sets everything up, but then later it kind of shows through.
And there would be some episodes where it would be like, it's just this day and this timeline. And then like the next one, it would be like 3 timelines in one day. or
I
something,
honestly,
like
I could see something like that being one of those shows where it would be really good, depending on the feel. If they were going for it,
as long as they
could
could
be,
get it right.
it could be really good if they did stuff out of order almost. Like you see things at different points, so you don't actually know necessarily what correlates to what.
Yeah.
Like almost if there's literally 3 different timelines happening, but it's not necessarily him going through each one like as a sequence for each day. It's like 3 separate timelines that happen.
This is how you do it.
And then at the very end, you find out like this was the timeline that did happen or something. Or like you see all these options and stories, but you don't necessarily know which one is real or something.
And
almost.
No, this is how you do episode 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
No music, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
He's going through. You just plug random events happening. You don't, tell him there's different storylines.
It's similar to like
It's
the
literally
Awake
just like
story.
something happens, and then all of a sudden he's in a different situation. Like he just walks into a building, but he's in a
Okay,
different
just
timeline.
like a scene change,
Yeah.
but we don't know that
But
it's
he's
all
gone to a
separate.
different timeline.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the episode, you finally reveal, he's freaking out, and then it reveals different timelines.
So like there would be points where he's all happy and stuff like that, and then the next scene he's kind of like terrified and stuff. I was thinking for like the dark timeline, he would like he thinks he's dreaming, so he goes and gets drunk or whatever, and then he ends up like bumping into like some like Yakuza guy or something like that. Something might happen. He might like accidentally like kill one of them, but then or like join them or something like that, and then end up killing someone. But like he's drunk and he doesn't know that he did it.
Man, I'd watch that.
And
That sounds
It's
interesting.
one of those shows where you have a really weird first episode
Yeah.
that makes sense at the end, you kill half your audience in the first episode.
Yeah.
And you get that cult, like super cult followers
Yeah.
that take you to the
They're
end.
just like, you guys watching Blank
Yeah.
or whatever.
They're like, I'm not watching that edgy crap. And then you get, the audience that sticks with it, and they all buy your Blu-ray. And they all carry you to season 2.
And yeah, it's because I really like things like Erased and like where the
Yeah.
time gets like Erased isn't like that.
I like the
Yeah.
groundhog concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
like the
I
multiple
agree, there's not
timelines.
enough of it.
Yeah,
Or good stuff.
There's not enough
in
good
anime.
ones. Of
Yeah.
it.
There was that one episode from Space Standing that I can't remember what happens. I just remember there was an episode of Space Standing where it's kind of, he does something and then goes back in time or whatever, and he kind of has the foreknowledge of what's happening. I can't remember what it is, though.
I'm not
I don't
sure
remember
which
the
episode
plot.
that
I just
is.
remember that it's Groundhog Day-esque.
Mhm.
It's been so long since I've
Which
seen
all of
Space
the
Standing.
Dandy's kind
Yeah.
of like that.
I mean, it's pretty much
Danny's
you want
great.
to take Endless Eight, ReZero, and like
Mhm.
Steins Gate and kind of mash it up right.
Yeah,
It was like the feeling of like Erased.
yeah,
Yeah,
I got you.
I'd watch it.
yeah. And
I'd watch it.
I'd give it the standard 3-episode test.
There you go.
well, guys, thanks for watching my anime. Okay,
Now, in real anime, what have you been watching?
So, I watched this like the day after we did the last recording, which was High Score Girl.
Mhm.
You remember when I told you about this?
Yeah, you told me about High Score Girl. I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet. I want to. I'm just trying to, I don't know, finish K-On! and
I keep seeing on
decide
Netflix.
what I
I'm
wanna
like, this
watch
doesn't
next.
seem like a show I want to watch.
So the character designs of the show, they're all CG, so it's a little like
Is it like Arpeggio of Blue Steel?
maybe they're more like bobbleheady.
Okay.
Kind of. It looks like they're going for a more Malay kind of
Okay.
look or whatever, but it's like genuinely like a really good show. Like,
I've only heard good things.
yeah,
I've only heard good things too, but every time I see it, I'm like, this does not seem like
Yeah,
the kind of show.
Yeah, I know.
you
Net-
wouldn't expect it.
I feel like Netflix does a really bad job of selling
Oh, definitely.
what you should watch.
Yeah.
Like, they are just...
Even-
Netflix, when it comes to anime, is just trash overall.
Even their thumbnails, like the Violet Evergarden one, it was of what's her face, the main Auto Memories doll. Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
Well, I mean, the
anyway,
main one is Violet Evergarden,
Yeah, sorry.
but...
Okay,
Like
so-
the head one there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't
yeah,
remember
it shows
name.
her, and it's like all gray on the side, and like in little text you can see Violet Evergarden. It's just like
Yeah.
I would not know.
Like, this
is
isn't even
the
like her.
Like,
Now,
yeah,
okay,
it doesn't
so
even look like the show.
I think they
Now-
changed it to where she's standing. with
To-
field.
Yeah, it changes every time.
to be
so.
fair, I don't know if you guys know this. Netflix does change thumbnails
Yes.
based on the viewer.
Yeah.
They change it to things that they think you would view more because it's kind of an adaptive thing.
Yeah.
So if I actually look for Violet Evergarden, I'm pretty sure I will get a different picture. Is this the picture you have for Violet Evergarden?
I have had that one before.
I've had that one before too.
That one has literally all the other auto memory dolls except for Violet Evergarden in it.
Yeah.
It just looks like they
Your
took a
Seven Deadly
screenshot
Sins
of it.
one is different than mine too. Because
Yeah.
mine has Meliodas like charging the screen.
It's very interesting how they do that, and I like it because it's got the whole AI, and it takes like the
Mhm.
user into
Yeah.
account. It personalizes it for you. It's also incredibly creepy. Like, come on,
It is super
Netflix.
creepy.
Like, why do you know me so well? Please stop. But at the same time, it makes things easier.
Yeah.
But I can see how if they would like choose something that doesn't necessarily represent the show and then use that to represent the show to
Yeah.
get someone's attention, I feel like
yeah.
it's just I don't want to say it's like deceptive because it is part of the show, but it's kind of getting there because
Yeah.
it's using something that's not really the show
Yeah.
to sell the show,
It doesn't really.
which I'm
But,
not a fan of. But
yeah, High Score Girl. It's a really good show. It's about 90s arcades
Mhm.
and about how gaming was in the arcades back then, like how people
Back in
knew.
my day.
Yeah, it's like whoa, they know how to like what's it, guile counter or something like that. Is that what it's called? I can't remember. Guile.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's some like very like shameful guile tactic or something like that where it's like you wait for them to attack first.
Is that like wobbling and
Or you
melee?
just,
Yeah.
you mean just turtling?
Yeah, guile turtling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they're just like I've never heard of that before, but they all knew about it.
I've never played Street
Yeah.
Fighter.
Yeah.
And like I think Street Fighter 2 comes out like the
Mhm.
later in the show, and what's it called? The one girl, like, it looks like she can't decide who she wants to play, and then you like, so she's like, this person, maybe this character, and then out of nowhere it just goes, and then she's playing as Akuma. And it's just like, so it's like the secret code on how to like the character select to unlock Akuma, stuff like that. And at the same time, like, while it's showing like this old history of like games and stuff like that, it's a really good like romantic comedy.
Oh.
I mean, maybe not like romantic or whatever. They have feelings
Right.
in it and stuff, but
Okay.
yeah,
I
just-
might check it out.
Just add that to the list of things on Netflix I need to watch. So
It's
there's that.
Same.
There's High Score Girl now. There's I am interested in Dragon Pilot. I want to watch that. You keep saying Baki the Grappler.
Baki the Grappler.
Is it Baki or Baki?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
I
Okay.
want to watch not Sword Guy, but the
Agretsuko.
the Jaeger one.
Oh, Serious
Oh,
the
Yeah,
Jaeger.
seriously, I want to see
Yeah.
that just for the fight scenes.
What? I don't even know what that's about.
Well, I'll show you.
And then there's Be the Beginning, which
Be the
I watched
Beginning's
one
got really
episode
good
from.
cutscenes.
I just didn't follow up.
Be the Beginning is really cool. I really like Be the Beginning.
Okay.
And I also watched Serious the Jaeger,
Mhm.
like right after I watched High Score Girl. And then I watched
You're on that Netflix binge.
I got Baki the Grappler, the first part, the second part.
You're on that big Netflix binge.
I know. And it even got even worse because I started watching Cyborg 009.
Oh,
the
you're on a
Justice
huge
for All.
Netflix binge.
Yeah, the Call of Justice. And when I was watching that, I was like, I miss the good old 009. So
Yeah.
I finished Call of Justice. I watched Cyborg 009 versus Devilman.
Mhm.
That's old, right?
Yeah, no,
That's-
it's new.
It's new.
Wait,
It's
It's
new.
basically all this. It was made because everybody was like, "Oh, Devilman, I've heard of that before. I'm gonna watch this now."
Wait, is it the Devilman from Devilman?
Yeah, Devilman Crybaby.
Well, yeah,
Well,
but I mean,
it
is it
came-
the same Devilman from Devilman Crybaby in that?
It's mostly their worlds combined
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's
But
like
it's
the
the
original.
old Devilman.
Yeah, it's the original old Devilman that was placed into this movie.
It's got some dark stuff.
So did the new Devilman Crybaby come out before or after
After.
that?
It came out of
Came
Okay,
out
so
after
it's
Yeah.
Devilman Crybaby is a different Devilman
It's
than...
still the Devilman manga. It's
Yes,
just
yes.
done entirely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that it's... yes, I understand it's the
Yeah.
same Devilman, but it's like series-wise, Devilman Crybaby is a different Devilman than the old Devilman. So
It's
that's
the same
what I'm
as
trying
the
to...
old
okay.
Devilman. It's just a different retelling of the
I
old Devilman.
understand.
They both
yes.
came out in the 60s.
Yeah.
And when I was watching that, like, it's not a good story.
Oh, no,
it's kind of
it's awful.
It's all over the place, but it's fun because it's a crossover kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of crossover stuff in anime as much as you'd think.
I think that's what most of the reviews are. Like, if you don't even know what Devilman or Cyborg 009 is, watch it anyway because it's a crossover.
Because it's a crossover.
Because they're like, the plot sucks,
Yeah.
everything about it sucks, but it's a crossover.
It's like I don't play cross tag battle because it's not like good gameplay wise, but like the concept of for like all the games, they even put Arcana Hearts in it now.
I
Like-
mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
just because crossover is the only reason I played the Professor Layton cross Phoenix
Yeah.
Wright game, and it was
I mean,
great. I
So-
mean,
because
and
crossovers
had
were
issues.
all over the place,
just
like
fun.
way back, like especially like on cartoons
mhm.
when you would get like think of the Jimmy Neutron in Fairly Odd Parents crossover.
Oh
Like,
yes,
yeah,
they did like 3 or 4 times, didn't they?
You would see them all
Man,
over
I
the
love it.
place.
I love it.
And like in anime, it's like almost non-existent.
Yeah. That's all we get are
Awesome.
bad video games and fake expectations because it was that whole Shin Megami Tensei X Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem.
That
And
they
then
were
it
wanting
just
to
turns
do.
to an idle game.
Yeah, it was the I don't remember what it's called.
It's Shin Megami Tensei cross Fire Emblem.
I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever played in any Shin Megami Tensei.
So
There's a lot on
It's
3DS.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo Mirage.
Oh,
Yeah, that was supposed to be
FE Sharp or Sharp
Yeah,
FE
the
or whatever.
Wii game.
Yeah,
that was supposed to be the Shin Megami Tensei Fire Emblem crossover.
Yeah.
But it just turned into an idle game with the characters that kind of
You
look
can
like they come from
summon
the
Fire
universes.
Emblem characters.
Yeah.
That looks interesting.
Yeah.
It
I
was-
heard good
I wanted
things
to
about
play
it
it.
though.
I heard good things about it too, but it's just disappointment because they're like, this is what they announced. This is what we got.
See, I don't know anything about either of those really, so
Mhm.
what they announced and what we got wouldn't have made a difference to me.
Right. They're like, if you're just getting into the series or like you just found the game, like it's a good game, standalone.
Okay.
But if you're going in there expecting the original SMT Fire Emblem crossover, you're not getting that.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, other than the crossover, basically I started catching up on 009 again because I never actually finished it.
Like the original one?
Yeah, well, the 2003 one, the Gynax in
Yeah.
some other place, I can't remember. And I remembered that all Cyborg 009, other than basically 2003 and beforehand, is garbage.
Mhm.
Like all the new Cyborg 009 stuff is literal garbage.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I hated watching Call of Justice, but I
Mhm.
wanted to watch it because I wanted to see if it would get better.
It's like Saint Seiya.
Is that what's the same thing?
Like all the old Saint Seiya stuff was good, and all the new stuff was like, this is really boring and
Yeah.
generic.
They couldn't do a Legend of Galactic Heroes where it's actually like good.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cyborg 009. It's fun.
I've honestly
I
never seen
I
any
just-
of it, never
yeah.
heard of it.
I used to watch some of the original Cyborg 009 when it was on like Cartoon Network and
Yeah,
stuff.
the 2003 one.
Yeah.
The Cyborg Soldier is what
Yeah.
that one's called.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started watching that because it's all on YouTube.
Of course.
Yeah, you can watch it.
Of course.
And Joe is just like, what is happening? How are you talking in my head? Well, you're all cyborgs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't watched any of it. I don't think I plan on watching any of it anytime soon.
It's all.
I've got
more-
other things that I'm already
So
wanting to watch. So.
It's good for Chase because Chase likes old stuff.
Yeah.
And like remakes of old stuff.
I have not old stuff like that's just never been my thing. I've never really been one for classics. Now,
Mhm.
I mean, there's the old shows that are like
Yeah.
the must sees, like
Evangelion.
Cowboy Bebop. I haven't seen Evangelion yet.
Well,
I need to.
I mean, like, this is how
much.
Chase does it. Like,
Death Note, stuff like that. I've watched those.
so
but,
they're like Space Battleship
They're not that
Yamato
old.
got the movie remake, the 2199 remake.
Mhm.
And Chase is like, I'm going to watch the original Star Blazers instead.
That's what my dad watched.
That's-
and I watched it.
Aren't there 110 plus
There-
episodes or something? like that?
There's a lot of episodes.
Mhm.
I don't think there's that many, but
No.
I watched it and I was like, man, this is really good. And I was talking to Jeff because he watched the remake and I hadn't watched the remake yet. And I was like, oh, do they like cover everything? And he's like, yeah, it covers all of Star Blazers. That's up to date.
No.
And I was just like, I watched it. I was like, Jeff is a liar. This is literally just season 1. They didn't even get the Space Marines yet.
Nope.
And 2122 or something, or
Yeah.
2202 has the Space Marines.
Yeah, so the first movie is good.
Yeah.
The ones after that are actually not very good.
So 2202, you gotta wait till the end because
Yeah.
they basically it gets really hype at the end.
Yeah. I mean, the movies itself are not very good.
Anyway, looks like it's about time to wrap it up. So thanks for listening, everybody, and with us as always have
And that's how Chase died.
George?
And Eric.
and I'm Jason.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Don't make it, man. You know what we used to do in high school?
Drugs.
Or that, but when people drink their milk,
I like milk.
we'd hit their Adam's apple.
That's horrible.
Yeah. Somebody drink their milk, they hit their Adam's apple.
And then just
Yeah. Or whenever somebody yawns, they just shove a finger in their mouth.
Is this what you people did before computers were invented?